coming out. And as Tommy also rightfully said, there are more links. As we learn more about Earth's history, we learn more about our own history and the history of space and mankind and human beings. Nobody is trying to convince anybody to change religion or believe what we say. You need to check it out for yourselves. And until people see things or see something strange or remember something that's happened to them, then they call it into question. Some people just don't remember it and in total denial, and that's fine. But there are millions of people out there that probably experienced something and don't realise what they've seen or what's happened to them. So I'm in agreement with both TJ and Tommy. And so if you want to call into the show or message the show, please do so. And me, Tommy, and TJ would be quite happy to answer any questions we have about our show tonight.
Oh, the number is 347-945-7207. Please call in if you have an important question or a question that's important to you. Thank you.
I have a message.
Oh, so go ahead. Sorry.
I have a message from Messenger on my phone from a lady called Amber, and she just remarked saying that she has a story from her grandmother told her about strange things that used to happen to her, and she never really believed it because she'd tell it all her life. It wasn't until she died recently that Amber's been having strange occurrences, something similar to her nan, and recently found scoop marks on her body, and she just asked for advice and who would you report things like this to, and she just wanted to know really more about scoop marks found on human beings.
Real fast on that. Okay,
Tommy,
TJ.
Let's mention that we do have a division of alienologists, and we have Steve Colburn in the USA, as well as Daryl Sims, and they're more into actually doing the research. So just write those names down. You can find them here with our group, DERRELLSIMS. He actually assists others, as does Steve Colburn, COLBURN, I believe, or BERN. I have to look him up myself. But those are two names you want to get in touch with on Facebook. Please tell them you heard it right here on TJ Morris ET Radio with UFO Association and ACO UFO Club. And Daryl knows me. He's in Houston area, Texas, where I was investigator. But, Tina, if you got it in your area, maybe she's in the UK. So, Tina, back to you. Do you have an alienologist that helps those that have been abducted with their case or takes down the case, or are you going to start doing that? They can email you personally, and you help discover other people in the UK. So back to you, Tina. Tell her how you would discuss that, and then Tommy can say how he helps those that to get to the people to get whatever information they need. So back to you, Tina.
Thank you, TJ. Yeah, sure. We do have a person here in the UK. There's nothing really much in the south of England. There's a Hampshire UFO group. But the main case reporting for alien abduction here in the UK is a group called BUFOG, and that's Birmingham UFO Group. And their head investigator and chairman of the UFO group is a gentleman called David Hodrian. And he investigates amazing cases, not just in the UK, in Australia and worldwide.
Did we lose her, Tommy?
No, I'm back again.
Okay.
And when people, it's realization, I think, for a lot of people. Once you realize what's happening to you, you don't know who to tell or where to turn to for help. So it took me quite a long time. I contacted the UFO magazine here in the UK, which Gary Hesseltine runs.
Oh, well.
You okay, Tommy?
You went out again somehow, but you're back again. This is going to be a problem, but go ahead.
So the UFO Group magazine here in the UK, who's run by Gary Heseltine, published my story in 4 of their issues this year. So there is help out there. There is people you can talk to and people you can contact in the UK. We do hold seminars here in the UK, and we often speak about all you guys in America, like Daryl Sims. I'm meeting him later this year. I believe that's at Gary Heseltine's conference in Yorkshire, the UFO Truth magazine. And like Richard Dolan, someone else who TJ mentioned, I'm meeting him and his wife, I believe, later in the year, actually in 2 weeks' time at the Awakening conference in Manchester, England. So there are loads of other conferences. There's even a crop circle group. So in England, like as 10, 20 years ago, there was hardly anything about. It's really not taken off, but I think because more people are seeing things for themselves, more people, like TJ said, are investigating it for themselves, and more people are checking it out and just asking questions. Did you see this? Who do I report it to? And I think Ancient Aliens being on TV has opened up a lot of pathways of people's interest. They're interested in guys like us. And again, it's like contactees. If someone said you robbed a bank and there was 10 people on the street and you didn't have an alibi, they would find you guilty on that evidence. But if you were alone in your room and abducted and taken and you tell somebody, nobody's going to believe you, but they believe somebody with no evidence, that a picture photograph just to say that person there robbed the bank. It's just that when you're taken in your bedroom, that there aren't 10 other witnesses with you at the time. And I understand that a lot of people do come forward and tell the truth and aren't believed because their stories are going to sound so crazy, but it's not a human everyday experience. You're seeing something not of this world. It's not going to sound like anybody's story. It is going to sound like something made up because it's not something you see on TV every day. But on that subject alone, this week is a Pixar picture, I believe, released. I'm not sure about over in the USA. There's a Pixar children's films called like Shaun the Sheep or Wallace and Gromit. They're like animated characters for children, very big here in the UK. And they've released one called Farmageddon, and it teaches children about alien abduction. It tells them that UFOs are real, and they find, as Shaun the Sheep finds an alien being and helps this alien, and the government, it tells them that the government are liars. It's quite a cool advert. You can go on YouTube or you can go on the internet and look Farmageddon up, and it tells you about crop circles, and they say that aliens are friendly, and this sheep helps all these aliens get back to their own world. And he shows them what the earth is like and what people on the earth and what the governments are like. So that's really desensitizing children and letting them know things like that are real, and it does go on. So, you know, the things are starting to move towards the field of ufology because people want more answers, more people coming forward. It's coming to a point where it is common every day now. So they're releasing more and more files. Yeah, I can understand why some of them are secret or some of them are military, but you've got millions of people just like me and you, Tommy, and TJ, that have seen things, heard things, and seen things with their own eyes. That's why people sound crazy, because the truest stories are normally are crazy. Like I said, it's not a TV series, it's people's lives and genuine things that they've seen.
Well, what I want to get into real fast about...
Let me mention that real quick, Tommy, when she brought that up. Shaun the Sheep on IMDb is Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon in 2019, and it's when an alien with amazing powers crash lands near Mossy Bottom Farm. Shaun the Sheep goes on a mission to shepherd the intergalactic visitors home. So there you go, folks. There's a Wikipedia.org on Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, Wikipedia. And there are a whole bunch of domain names, aliensinchildren.org, animationmagazine.net, it's Aliens Love Underpants and Kits Up for Sky, Third UK trailer for Aardman Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, 6 days ago. That's on firstshowing.net. Third UK trailer for Aardman Shaun the Sheep movie. So when an intergalactic visitor, impish and adorable alien called Lula crash lands near. I'm sure the connect with children too. New trailer for Shaun the Sheep. So I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't know about that. So I did a quick, as we say, I Googled it. So movie trailers, firstshowing.net. So thanks for bringing that up, Tina. And we are American Communications Online folks, and we're here to help any way we can. Today is our UFOassociation.org club. ACO UFO Club, and you're welcome to join us weekly. And if you have a story to tell that you'd like to share, please let us know. It's Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon. How about that? And we're all movie watchers. It comes with the territory while we're here on the planet. And Alien UFO Sightings is tuned in, so thank you, Alien UFO Sightings. And Steve Colburn of Washington. And it is COLBERN. So now back to you, Tommy. I just wanted to, if somebody mentions something, I'll Google it real quick. You, Tommy, or Tina.
No problem.
We're shooting from the hip today. Okay, I'm going to go back on mute. I'm on mute.
All right. What I wanted to get into with abduction and things like that, scoop marks and implants. Tina can talk about that as well. But what I want to say is, trying to prove that is hard, because I had blood, somebody had it, of an alien supposedly. My brother's a chemist, and I asked him, can he find a company that would analyze the blood for us? And he said he couldn't. And he got back to me and said, no, that nobody will do it. Most mainstream doctors will not put their name on anything classified as alien. Now, I know you heard about Bigfoot and Sasquatch. They've been around forever. To prove that they're real is just about impossible as of right now. I was only a foot away from one, so I know they're real, so I don't have to prove it to myself. But as far as other people, now, all the hair samples that have been reported and given to chemistry labs have proven to be a bear. Now, not saying hair could actually be the same DNA, no matter what creature has it. But they say, well, elk has their own, deer, and everything has their own DNA. But the bear seems to be the closest to a Bigfoot, considering all the people that came out with samples of hair from a Bigfoot. Now, there was a group of people that went to Tibet. Tibet has a story of the Yeti, and they got one in not captivity, they got the skeleton of one. They took a sample of that, came back and analyzed it, and turned around and said it was a bear. It was the wrong color bear that's up in Tibet, but they said it was still a bear. So what I'm going to tell you is, when you get marks on your body, doctors will probably make an excuse how it happened. Even with exorcisms, I mean, when a person gets possessed and they get marks down their back that they can't reach and things like that, they'll still come up with an excuse that a person still did it to themselves. So I always say the proof is important, but you have to prove it to yourself, because that's all that really matters, unless you're going to try to make money off of it. So if you get pop marks, and there's different kind of marks, there was a video put out in the UFO conference world maybe 25 years ago, and he put out a tape how to determine if you were abducted. But the signs are pretty well common, lost time and things like that. It's hard to prove to anybody else about lost time unless you're with somebody and you both have lost time and your vehicle is in a different place. I can go into a lot of stories that I personally know, but I wasn't there, so I'm not going to go into them right now. But getting back to you as a person, when you're trying to prove something, if you have blood, make sure you keep it safe, protected in something where it's not going to evaporate, and even if it does, the dry blood still can be tested. Any evidence.
Store in the fridge.
Store it in the fridge or freezer, but make sure you keep anything that you're given as a sample to try to prove your scenario of what you're talking about. But I feel bad, because in the UFO world, Bigfoot has not been proven in any way yet. And that's sad, because there's been multiple hair samples, footprints, and all that turned in, and it's always written off as not real. So even a person, I'm not going to mention a name, did research on it for 40 years and still can't prove anything about a certain thing. So what I'm